Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our annual Wild Summer Nights fundraising auction, online now for the second year. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors and auction item donors. The money raised from this auction goes directly to our conservation and education programs and makes up a large percentage of our annual budget. Thank you for joining us to be a voice for our wildlife. I will now turn it over to Sarah to let you know why we need your support through this auction.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you all so much for joining us. We so appreciate your support for wildlife conservation efforts in South Carolina. I'm Sarah Green, Executive Director of the South Carolina Wildlife Federation. Since 1931, 90 years ago now, SCWF has served as the voice for outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds: hunter and birdwatcher, teacher, backpacker, boater and farmer, gardener and angler. SCWF builds partnerships to ensure everyone can enjoy South Carolina's natural heritage and recreation opportunities for generations to come. Our state is blessed with an incredible diversity of natural resources that are both beautiful and accessible. We have many different habitat types, from mountain streams to rolling Piedmont, the South Carolina sandhills and with longleaf pine, our coastal plain with bottomland hardwood forest, our highly productive salt marshes, our expansive beaches, and out even into the continental shelf. These diverse habitats provide for an incredible array of wildlife. South Carolina sits in a worldwide hotspot for reptile and amphibian biodiversity, and we hold an amazing number of salamanders, frogs, and snakes. American alligators are common all along the coastal plain, and we have 4 species of sea turtles in the waters off our coast. In addition, black bear are common in the upstate and also in the upper coastal plain. Bobcats are abundant in the coastal plain and now also increasing in numbers in the Piedmont. We have hundreds of species of birds that migrate through our state and a lot of resident species that are here year-round. Prothonotary warblers migrate from Colombia, South America, and breed here in our state. Purple martins migrate from Brazil, and we have one of the largest roosts in North America right in the middle of our state on Lake Murray. Shorebirds like red knots and whimbrels migrate from South America all the way to the Arctic tundra and have critical stopover points in our state. Roseate spoonbills are increasing in number along our coast as their ranges shift northward. Monarch butterflies, who have seen drastic reductions in populations in their migration from Canada to Mexico, now have been found to overwinter in our state also. All of our wildlife and the native plants they depend on, and the amazingly beautiful places that we depend on for our vacations, outdoor recreation, for solace, all of this is in jeopardy. There are threats in the form of new housing developments and roads, invasive species, pollution and litter, increased storms and flooding issues, and so much more. We at the South Carolina Wildlife Federation are working to combat these issues and conserve natural resources and preserve habitat for wildlife. We hold education classes and events for people of all ages. We work with landowners across the state to enhance habitat. We have a lobbyist at the State House and a wildlife biologist monitoring threats and conservation initiatives, but we need your help. We were on track to double our operating budget and therefore also double the impact that we can have for wildlife. But our revenue was down 30% last year due to the pandemic. We hope you will consider donating or volunteering, becoming active in our programs, being a voice for wildlife, and doing your part to help save all these things that make South Carolina so special. Hope you will visit our website at scwf.org to get involved. One way that you can help us today is through this auction. Like Angie said, it makes up a huge part of our operating budget. So we will tell you about that more in a minute, but next we have Jay Keck, our Habitat Education Manager, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about our education programs, some recent successes, and future goals.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, thanks, Sarah. My name is Jay Keck, and thank you to Angie. Hey, Hannah. Yeah, so my name is Jay Keck, and I'm the Habitat Education Manager. I've been here for 3 years, and this is a great time of year. If you want to go ahead to the next slide and get to my favorite quote of all time. I am 42 right now, but I'll probably be 82 and talking about this quote or saying it, even when I'm old. But yeah, in the end, we'll conserve only what we love. We'll love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we are taught. When I was thinking about when those pictures that Sarah was showing, I started thinking about how many people in South Carolina don't even know those places exist. They don't even know those animals exist. And, they probably don't even know about the litter problem that we have in our state and around the world, right? What are we going to conserve if we don't even know it exists? If we don't know it exists, we're not going to fall in love with it, right? So I love this quote. We talk about it all the time in all of our classes. I typically use it, and I couldn't believe in a quote more than this one right here. You can go to the next one. So yeah, education is obviously a huge part of what we do. Doesn't matter if we're talking about, how to tie a fishing line or not, for a hook. We could be, leading a bird walk like with our friend Drew Lanham here, Austin Jenkins, teaching about spiders and dragonflies and all those amazing critters out there. E.O. Wilson, one of the most famous biologists that we have in America, he said, insects are the little things that run the world. And Austin knows an awful lot about them, and he can teach us, why that is and why insects are so important. I lead a lot of bird walks, but, with y'all's support, we get to expand on that. We saw around or reached around 5,000 folks last year through our Zoom classes and in-person, some in-person classes, but we want to, grow those numbers. Imagine us getting into more schools now that COVID's kind of relaxing a little bit. We want to do that, and your support helps us expand on these in-person programs and, through our virtual programs. So you can go to the next slide. And this is what I'm talking about. This is so cool. So we, these kids are probably, I think, 4 and 5 at a daycare here in Chapin. So we not only reach, people of retirement age, but, we reach people that are even far from, working age. But these kids need to know what's out there. Again, if you know what's out there, there's a chance of you falling in love with it. And if you love it, you're going to care for it. So we want to make it a point to show, folks, students all over the state, what's out here, so they fall in love with it and care for it. You can go. This is our snake expert, Brandon Ergel. And, right before COVID, we were able to get into a few schools, and it was amazing to see, a room of 100 kids, probably 90% of them getting really, really, really excited about snakes, and wanting to touch them and hold them, and, smiles on their faces. He kind of outshined me because I had pictures and sounds of birds, but he had the actual snakes in hand, and that was really cool. But, this is what we want to expand. Imagine us getting into, not just a few schools a year or several schools a year, but dozens and dozens and dozens of schools. All of a sudden you have kids that aren't throwing their trash out their windows, when they get into high school and adulthood. You have kids that are, putting up bluebird houses, creating habitat on their property, wherever they may be. So we need to expand that, and that takes money, and that takes y'all's support. You can go ahead.
Okay, now we will go to Angie to learn about how to bid for our auction. And so I will pull that up here.
We're going to go to our website, scwf.org, and choose events. Scroll down to the Wild Summer Nights online auction. We'll pass some delicious looking, enticing lots to bid on. I want to thank our sponsors again with their beautiful logos right here on the page. Very important, helpful for them, for their sponsorships. Okay, we're going to register to bid here. Takes you to the GiveSmart app. And we sign in or register. If you haven't registered yet, you obviously pick on the bottom there, select the bottom, create an account. Add your email address. Street address. Folder Wilt. Choose my own password so I remember it. Select terms and conditions, which is required if you want to read them. Obviously, there's a hyperlink right there, and the text messages, that's very important to get those updates. If you've been outbid or won, then you hit create my GiveSmart account. Save that password. And I'm in. From this page, you can browse, bid, and buy with the view items right here in the middle. You can see our $30,000 fundraising goal for our educational programs. You can do donate now right at from one of these buttons here. And my email address is right here in this section if you need to reach out if you have any problems, angi@scwf.org. Again, thank you to our sponsors. You'll see their logos throughout the item section. Once you get to this spot, you can see straight away that there is a donate your ticket cost. When we were able to do the auction in person, of course, part of our fundraising included the ticket cost of the event. So if you'd like to donate that this year, that will help us reach our goal. And you can go back and scroll through. It's got some really great popular African safari trip, 3 nights in Folly, beautiful freshly painted house, beautiful sunsets. Look at that. So you can scroll through, you can watch items, you can, this burger just gets me every time. It's a bit much, I know. Home Team Barbecue, thank you for that. So you can scroll through, you can watch items, like right here, pretty easy. And once bidding is open, you can, of course, bid on the items in the increments that are listed. The prices that you see on each item is the opening bid. And we have some Wildlife Federation products, books, hats, wildlife habitat signs ready for purchase at the end of here. Another great one is a school presentation. I know so many of you support our educational programs. So this is an item that you can select to sponsor a school presentation. So if you are interested in that, please also select that item. I appreciate your support. So check back, keep checking back. New items are being added daily. And once again, thank you very much to our sponsors.
Okay, I stopped share on that.
Okay. We will come back to show you. We all have picked out some of our favorite items to tell you more about. So Jay, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, I hate to lose to somebody for my mom's carrot cake, but listen, my wife, part of her job is to take people out for dinner, and I get to go, a lot of times. And I've always made it a mission to try to find a carrot cake that's better than my mom's whenever I go to these nice restaurants. And I have yet to do that. And I'm talking about years now. So it's a delicious cake. My father-in-law, every time he comes down from Pittsburgh to South Carolina, requests my mom's carrot cake. So it goes great with a glass of milk. Remember, bid for this because it helps us with our entire mission, not just the education part, but all sorts of things that we do: the conservation, the advocacy, the restoration. So that's my mom's famous carrot cake. And then I don't know, I guess my family loves food, and we do, but my brother's a chef down in Charleston. He owns his own business down there, and I lead bird walks. So why not combine the two? And we did, for last year's auction, and the winners here, lovely couple from the upper state, birded with me and had this beautiful salad with shrimp from Charleston, and we might have had a bottle of wine as well, to end the bird walk. And these are pictures from that trip that the winner took. So a beautiful bobolink in these gorgeous flowers, this gorgeous male painted bunting. So again, bid big, and they're fantastic items. So thank you.
All right, now Hannah, our community outreach intern, will tell you about her favorite item.
Okay, I think my favorite item is the SC Aquarium because I love going to the turtle hospital. It's really cool. They also have the deepest tank in North America, which is also pretty cool in our own state. And I used to be a babysitter, and I would make the kids I babysit go to the touch tank with me so that I had an excuse to go up to it. But it's a really good time.
Great, thank you. And Angie, you want to tell us about this one?
I just thought this was great. This is just super unique. It's a live music performance from Wildlife Federation fans and members, Admiral Radio. They're a local folk Americana group. I've included a link on this item to a nice YouTube video for a performance they did with a full band in Sumter, to give y'all a feel for their sound. But how much fun to give a live performance to someone for a birthday present, or if you have an event, a small event at your home coming up. I just think it's super unique and just a really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing interest in this one. And thank you to Becca and Cody. They have a certified wildlife habitat in downtown Columbia at their home, and they're big fans, and we're fans of theirs.
That's great. And this is a new item. We're really excited about that one. So I just wanted to highlight a couple that our board members have donated this year, and some of them have been donating for several years. We have some hunts and some fishing trips, just getaways, a long weekend at a house down in Beaufort County. So lots of great things that our board members have been able to get together for us. And Of course, these that we are highlighting here are just a few of the many, as you saw from Angie's video, that we have available through our auction. And I want to say thank you so much to Angie and Hannah for all of their work on this auction. If you have any questions, we will give you our phone number at the end, and Hannah or Angie will answer the phone and help you with bidding or whatever you might need. And so all of our staff and all of our board pitch in as well for the auction. And as Angie said, it makes up a big part of our operating budget. So once again, we'd like to thank you all for watching today. Thank you also again to all of our auction sponsors, and also to all of the businesses and individuals who have donated items for our auction. So please visit our website at scwf.org, and also our auction page, and the link is right there on your screen. And just thank you from all of us for your support and for being a voice for wildlife.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.